Now, let's talk big story. And the numbers, they are in. And like my hips, they don't lie. I apologize. But seriously, today, researchers with PSU, they sent a message loud and clear to Portland City Council. Expand Portland Street response. Here's Maggie Vespa.
It's been more than 6 months since Portland vowed big changes for its first response landscape. The mission? To take police out of the equation on nonviolent mental health and addiction calls and send crisis counselors and paramedics instead.
We're the Portland Street Response Team. We're a new program.
They called it Portland Street Response. In February, they launched it as a pilot in Southeast Portland's Lentz neighborhood.
Good morning. Thank you, City Council, for inviting me to present the findings of our 6-month evaluation.
Researchers at Portland State University have been studying the program since. And Tuesday, they said the message is clear.
Our first recommendation is to commit the necessary resources toward the expansion of Portland Street Response to eventually make its services available throughout the city and during all hours of the day.
Dr. Greg Townley with PSU there urging the City Council to go big and take Portland Street Response, or PSR, citywide as soon as possible.
PSR was able to resolve the vast majority of its calls in the field.
Here are some of the points Townley highlighted, specific, again, to that pocket of Southeast Portland. Since PSR's rollout, there's been a 4.6% drop in total calls for police and a 22.5% drop in police responding to non-emergency welfare checks or unwanted person calls. There's also been an 11.6% drop in firefighters going to behavioral health and illegal burn calls. Commissioners seemed pleased. One in particular.
Portland Street Response is exceeding our expectations.
This comes after Commissioner Joanne Hardesty Monday told KGW she'll be pushing the council to sign off on taking PSR citywide this spring. Here's the thing. She wants the money now. Hardesty wants the council to this month set aside just over $1 million so PSR can start hiring more staff after the new year. Tuesday's presentation was key to her plan, but it didn't come without questions.
How are we defining success?
Mayor Ted Wheeler has always said he supports expanding PSR, but wants to do it the right way. And Dr. Townley admitted there are some things he'd like to see the program do better. For instance, their call volume is low. 911 dispatchers are only sending them on roughly 3 to 4 calls a day. Part of that is because of PSR's criteria. They can't go to calls where someone has a weapon, they can't go into homes or businesses, and they can't go to suicide calls. Changing those rules would involve negotiating with the police union, among other agencies. Townley added data shows in cases involving mental health, many people are hesitant to call 911, scared police will be sent. In short, not enough people know PSR exists. We went to the Lentz neighborhood Tuesday, where evidence of the housing crisis is easy to spot. And this happened a lot. Had you heard of Portland Street Response?
I had not, actually.
One couple camping here told us they had an encounter with PSR. They said the staff were kind and they liked the program.
I'm not sure exactly where the disconnect is.
I also spoke with Sabina Erdis, executive director of the East Portland Collective. She lives in Lentz and agrees the need for Portland Street Response is great and the low call volume is bizarre. Still, Erdis is confident the program will pick up steam and she supports the expansion.
I have seen them, like last time I saw a person in distress walking in traffic barefoot, PSR were already there. So I'm hoping that they pass this hurdle and budget is approved to offer them stability and continuity and allow their workers to focus on the actual work.
Okay, Maggie, so some hesitation there, but it certainly feels like more of a go than not.
I think that's the perfect way to describe it at this point. And we said yesterday that Commissioners Mingus Mapps, Dan Ryan, and Carmen Rubio are all voting yes on an expansion this fall. So it sounds like this is going to get the votes that it needs. And this presentation definitely didn't change their minds. It was pretty positive.
So what happens next? What do we look out for?
Yeah, so a reminder, this is all part of a regular budget process called the fall bump. They reevaluate the budget during the fall and during the spring. This is the fall bump. So basically all the commissioners submit their pitches for the fall bump to the mayor. He compiles everything and then releases basically an overall budget proposal. And we'll see if this pitch to expand PSR is included in that proposal. That's due out in a couple of weeks.
Interesting. All right, Maggie, thanks.
Sure.